To create anything extraordinary in life or solve an extraordinary problem, do extraordinary work, have some amazing business idea, or resolve this conflict you have with your kids or with your parents, anything extraordinary which you think difficult or need creativity, to be able to get there, you need to live a little differently. And I call it the way of artist. And the artist way is not just for the artist, it's the way. I believe Steve Jobs was an artist, or extraordinary mom who is able to connect with the son or daughter and resolve an issue. It's an artist. An artist is an artist, and a lot of the artists forget how to live the artist way. If some way of writing works, they keep writing the next novel or next books in the same way, and they wonder, well, the first one was successful, why is the second one is not becoming successful? They forget their way. So what is this way? How do we live this way? How do we create extraordinary results and extraordinary ideas? Let's find out. So most of us are so confined in our life. We have built these walls around us, which limits our creativity. It's like we have put these walls, the gel around us, which doesn't allow us to see beyond what's there. New ideas, new way of dealing with people, new way of doing business. Actually, just seeing what customers is trying to say. We have built so many walls around us, so many rules, the way we have been doing things, our present or past. Those are those walls. See, if your present method or past methods were working, you wouldn't be having this problem. Obviously, where you are is not working, so you got to do something differently. And it means breaking those walls. See, I say the artist way because the great artists have learned to go beyond the boundaries which they have set themselves. They are not afraid to go into the unknown, try different things. So musician will start playing with some tunes. He doesn't even know what the goal is, what tune will come out ultimately. But if he doesn't let go and try that tune, he will never get there. If he has these boundaries, you got to pierce through those boundaries, go beyond it. That's what artists do. And that's what great business people, great moms, great parents, great teachers, they all do that. They're able to get through those boundaries. They're able to go beyond and be creative. So if you want to do anything extraordinary, find that extraordinary business idea, give that extraordinary artist performance, you have to go beyond. You have to go in this unknown. You have to go where you're not afraid and being able to experiment and try things. You got to have two things. You got to be relaxed and you got to be focused. See, many years ago, I went to this park called Yosemite Park in United States. And I was standing on this mountain where you can see the sunset. I was all alone there. I drove myself and my friends were following and coming behind me in another car. And I was standing there. I was looking at this beautiful sunset on top of the mountains, the sky, the trees, the colors of the sunset. I was watching all of that. And for a few moments, I forgot who I am and what the sunset is. I became one with that. I became one with the nature, with the sunset. And I felt calm. I felt joyous. I felt blissful. And I'm sure you have had these experiences while going in nature or riding or playing or playing music or reading some amazing book. You all had these experiences where we are not ourselves, we become bigger. So for that moment or those moments, why do we feel great? Why do we feel creative or not afraid, because we are not our tiny self at that point. We have merged into that. Whatever the art, whatever the problem you're solving, whatever the movie you're watching, whatever the book you're reading, you become one with that. You become one with the nature or the universe. And that thing is so big that you forgot you're this tiny little thing in the entire huge, beyond words, beyond boundaries universe. We're small, and we're small, we're afraid. So when you let go of your boundaries which you have put on your mind yourself, you become this big, oceanic, expanded thing. And that's where, in that expanded thing, that's where extraordinary breakthroughs, extraordinary ideas, the bliss of letting go comes from. I might sound some spiritual guru, but I'm trying not to. This is what happens to me a lot of times when I'm working on some very difficult business problem and solve it. But then why most of you, or even myself, not able to do this all the time? Because of two things. To live this artist way, as a business person, as a parent, as a teacher, as an accountant, as a musician, you got to have these two important things. So the first thing, you got to be relaxed. So I don't just mean just physically relaxed, but mentally also. So you're trying to work on this business idea or trying to solve this business problem. If you're tight, if you are holding yourself tight, what does that mean? That means you may have a mental barrier that I cannot solve this, or will I get a lot of money out of this, or will I get out of the trouble, will I be successful, will I be famous? All of these things tightens your mind up. So for those period of time when you are working on this, trying to solve this extraordinary problem, trying to create this extraordinary thing, when you give yourself those limits of time, and slowly you start with small time like 1 hour, you start to spread it across your life, to live the life this artist way. What you do in that limited time or throughout your day is you relax yourself, and this relaxation comes from letting go of making the next Facebook, letting go of writing the best novel, letting go of being a best parent. All of these things are going to constrict you. They are going to hold you back. They're not going to create that relaxation which I am talking about, where the mind and body are both relaxed to be able to go beyond. To create something new, the creativity, it means to go beyond, go into that unknown. And to be able to get there, the first thing you need is letting go of these things you're trying to do. Just play with it. Just like a musician, he's just playing with his guitar, trying to work on some tunes, and the tune just comes. A lot of the scientists tells the stories of how they invented something new, and many times it just comes to them when they are completely relaxed. So by letting go of trying to create a next Facebook, by letting go of having the security of a lot of money, by letting go of the safety, you become safe. By letting go of that desire for a lot of money, you get a lot of money. By letting go of that desire to be extremely successful and famous, you become successful and famous. That's when you create your greatest work of art, your greatest work. So why this thing works? Because by letting go of desire to build the next Facebook, you are able to open your mind. See, when you're thinking about creating next Facebook, by definition, you are just thinking Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and what he did and what he didn't do and what will work, what not work. You already put yourself in the box. But the possibilities, the breakthroughs, the extraordinary life is outside of that box, not in that box. When you have a certain way of teaching your kid, or talking to your kid, or trying to fix something as a parent with your kid, if you have a certain box, you will never see the kid, their feelings, what they're going through. See, many years ago when I was learning Spanish in Cusco in Peru, I had taken this small group class, and we were a few people in the class, and there was one 9-year-old Jessica. And I was with her for a month in that class, and every time she was able to pronounce the Spanish word as if she's native. And I was studying much harder than her. I had 2 or 3 private tutors outside of that class, and my pronunciation was accented. I just couldn't get it. It was thick accent I'm speaking Spanish with. So I asked my teacher. He said, "Sachin, you hear the word, but you're not listening to me. Every time I say some Spanish word, you try to compare it with what you know, the English word, the Hindi words you know, and what comes out is what not what I tell you. What comes out is what you hear in your brain." Jessica doesn't do that. She doesn't compare. She is a blank slate in a way. She let it come and go and into her ear, into her brain, and what comes out is what she hears, and she hears me. So she's able to say the way I say it. You're not able to do that. So a lot of times the problems in front of our life, whether you're having a relationship problem or a business problem, or you're trying to come up with an idea, or you're trying to find the purpose of your life, and you're just getting frustrated that you don't know whether this is your purpose or that is your purpose, what is your passion, you're all confused. You're reading the book, but you're not understanding anything. You're just not getting in while you're studying. This is happening because you're not relaxed. You are just too in a tight box. To live the artist way, you got to let go. You got to let go and go beyond that. You got to become the dance while you're dancing. You become the words while you're writing. When you're running, you become the run. It sounds so mystical, but that I'm sure you have experienced this. You have experienced this where you and that running is not different. You just become the run, and you get this extraordinary energy you didn't even know where you came from. Or sometimes you if you're writing a song or you're writing something and the words are just flowing, it's like something is channeling through you. That thing, you want to make that your way of living life. And that's the art of living extraordinary life. So you want to be relaxed and you want to be focused. When you have these two things, relaxed and focused, that's when you will be able to create that next Facebook idea or next song, or able to finally understand the other person you're trying to struggling with when you let go of that barrier. And that's the start of your extraordinary life.